All right, with the feet together and the hands atop the head, let's start with our body circles around our feet. Taking your time, letting the weight roll over each quadrant of the foot. As you loosen and warm up, the hips can begin to lead more and more. Make sure the hips are initiating and the upper body is just acting as a counterbalance to that roll from the waist. And 2 more. Good. Other direction, starting that smaller amplitude circle. Take your time as the feet warm up, rolling in this new side. Gradually increase the size of your circle. That feeling there's a rope pulling your belt line all the way around your base. Good, Caro. Try to keep your hips a little more square, Caro. So see how my hips are square, but I'm rolling that whole structure in line. If I tilt too much, I miss some of the opportunity to stretch. And 2 more. Very nice. Stepping out. Feet in parallel on the lateral aspect, hands on the hips, belly button drawn to the spine, keeping the back straight as the pelvis rolls back and we sink. Pelvis rolls forward and we raise and continue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hands center of the chest if you like. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Behind the ears, we've got more of a challenge. 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Keep it back straight. 2 more. 19. Last one. 20. Very nice. Hands on the hips. Same sink. Raise and twist. Sink. Raise, twist. 1, 2. Good morning, Margot. 3.
Hi.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one. 10. Narrowing that stance a little bit. Back straight, belly drawn to the spine, feet in parallel. The stance is slightly wider than shoulder width. As I sink, my arms round, my back stays straight as I drop. So my hips are back. As I raise, the hips come forward, unfolding, and the elbows increase the stretch at the very end. Belly draws to the back, as I sink, back is straight all the way down. Back is straight as I raise up, and slight arch as the elbows sink. Continue. Two more. Last one. Good, expanding that stance. Back once again is straight. If the back can be straight and parallel with the ground, even better. We want a slight bend in each knee, slow twist, turning, looking past the foot, stretch just a bit, and then back around. Stretch, and back around. And back, 4, 5, nice and slow. 6, focusing on the feeling in the hips as they roll and the spine as it elongates. 7, 8, 2 more. 9. Last one, 10. Good. Narrowing that stance again. Feet a bit wider than shoulder width. And just as in our first exercise, rounding the base. Again, making sure you're hitting each quadrant of each foot as you roll. Once that roll feels comfy, start to notice that place in the hips where you can drop and roll the body through. Even with the body roll, make sure you're still traveling all the way around the feet. Two more. Last one. Good. In the high stance, work on that roll on the other side. Feel that patterning as you travel around your base. Once that roll, hi Jane, once that roll is consistent, you can add in the body roll. 1. No Jane. Come on. Come on. 3 more. Last one. You can up. It's okay, you can hang out there. Stepping to the side, raising your foot. Two more. Very nice. Sinking in a little bit. The weight is slightly forward. Grabbing the ground with the foot, pulling and watching first. I raise my foot back. I'm trying to kick myself in the butt without leaning too far to the other side and back down. All right, let's give that a go. And R, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Last one. Good. Shaking it out. Wider stance. Turn to the side. With the arms up and the hips pulling in the direction. For a couple times through, feel that draw from the arms, pulling the hip in and back. In and back. Good, the arms pull, the opposite hip turns in, arms release, the hip turns back. As I draw in, I feel that pull, traveling from my arms, through my belly, to my hip, into my leg, into my ankle, and that last little bit of movement dislodges the foot as it goes back up and through. All right? Let's try to get nice and slow. Arms pull the belly, pull the hip, pull the leg, pull the foot, dislodge the foot. Once more, that really slow sequencing. Arms to belly, to hip, to leg, to foot, to kick. Good. Now that idea in mind, draw the belly to the spine, knit the clavicles, reach, feel that stretch in the hip, and 10 kicks. E. R. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good. Changing sides. Same thing, a couple nice and slow. Feel the connection between the arms turning, the torso rotating, the hip turning in, the stretch down the leg, and finally that dislodging of the foot. It's like your foot's stuck in the mud, and you need all of yourself to pull the foot out. Again, nice and slow. Feel that stretch traveling down your torso, down your hip, through your leg, into your foot, and then carrying the foot forward. From a forward view, Feeling that pull. And back, see, I'm not kicking above my waist. My foot's in a crook the whole way through. I'm following that roll of my hips. Very nice, Karen. Good, Caro. Good, Craig. Excellent, Joanna. Good, Margot. Margot, try to lean as much forward. Try to keep your balance centered as you kick around that central post. Good, Margot. And Chris, let's see. Very good, Chris. Let's go for 10. And E. R. San. Si. Wu. Liu. Qi. Ba. Jiu. Last one. Sure. Shake it out. Okay. All is good outside. Hands on the knees for knee circles. And roll. Traveling all the way around your feet. Changing directions. Good. To the middle, forward, open, and back. To the middle, back, around, and forward. Two more. Very nice. Shaking those out for a second. Sorry. Cursor issues on the computer. There we go. Okay. So we're going to do our squat front leg raise kicks. Right. Again, as we kick up, we want the toe raised, the heel extended, and pressure into that braced leg. So I'm not just throwing the leg in the air, balance come what may. I'm pushing into the ground with one foot, using that push to increase the lift on the other. So watching me, I sink, my back is straight. As I raise up, I use that lift to spring the leg and then right back into my stance, spring the leg back into my stance, okay? Let's go for 10 of those. And E, R, San, Si, Wu, Liu, Qi, Ba, Jiu, Sure. Good. Following me. Step in front, step behind, front leg raises, figure 4, kneecap pulls behind, and step. Front leg steps front, back leg steps up, front leg figure 4, pulling from the kneecap, turn, and draw the leg out. 2 more at this pace. Front leg up, back leg behind. Front leg figure 4, pivot, draw to step. Front leg front, back leg up, figure 4, pivot to draw. Good. Let me see all of you try just twice more. Good, Chris. Good, Caro. Good, Karen. Good, Margot. Very nice, Joanna. You've all got it. Good. Okay, so now let's add in the arms with this. So watching me first. Arms with leg. Arms with leg. I use this twist in the shoulders to begin my unspiraling. So from here, I deepen that coil into the ground. I follow the reach of my hands as I pivot around and back. Let's try it together. So hands and front leg go in front of the body. Hands and back leg reach behind. Now, without going too deep, feel that twist. Watch me. I follow that twist. My figure 4 comes as part of following that twist, and then I follow the hands all the way towards my back wall. Okay? Let's try the other side. Hands and foot forward. Hands and back foot step behind. Get that crossbody twist. Watching me as I uncoil. There's that figure 4 in transition. Give that a go. Good. Once more with me slowly, I'll watch all of you. Hands and front foot come in front of the body. Hands and back foot step behind. Follow that twist, and as you twist, make sure you hit that figure 4 as you pull around and back. Okay, Fritz, can I borrow you?
Yes.
I get a Fritz. All right.
I have information to tell you.
Yeah?
My mom did text Papa about the ice cream.
Then I'll text Bob after class. Okay? So step behind my foot, with this leg. Like this. Okay, can everyone see Fritz? Turn this way. This leg goes here. Good. So she has me here, and she's going to throw me over her leg. I don't want to go. If I just lift my foot up and twist, I get caught on Fritz. But if I use the twist to come here, I clear her leg as I travel around and behind. Thank you. And so you want to hit that figure 4 just to make sure that foot doesn't snag on anything as we release it into the step. Make sense? Let me see all of you give that a try a couple times. Awesome, Chris. Use an exhale as you turn out, but everything else is looking great. Caro and Karen, feel like you're drilling yourself into the ground as you pivot around that base leg. Okay, so you're increasing your connection to the ground as you turn. There you go. And for Karen, 1 relaxed exhalation as you twist. Okay?
I feel like I'm still working on the footwork right now.
What's that?
I feel like I'm still working on how to coordinate the arms with the feet.
Okay.
I feel like it became clear like a month ago that I'm doing something wrong about this, but I'm not sure exactly what. Like I think I need to see it in person more.
Gotcha.
This isn't
a tricksy one. It's a tricksy one.
It's not easy.
I'm trying to get it twice more. All right.
So, well, I just think it's like the exact vector that I'm stepping isn't correct, and then I definitely am still confused about the arms a little bit. So.
Gotcha. Okay. It's not looking bad. There's a little bit of an unsteadiness in the ground that we'll correct on Saturday. Okay.
Okay.
Awesome. But again, if it helps a little bit, watching me, I'll do a side view. I step across, I step behind, there's that twist, following that twist back. Step across, step behind, there's the twist, follow that twist back. All right, so did everyone do that twice more by themselves? Good Joanna, good Craig. That was it, Karen. That's really good. That's nice. Good, Margot. And once more, then we'll all go together for 10. That was great, Karen. Yeah, much smoother.
I still feel like the arms feel really awkward.
It took me about 5 months to be comfortable with the arms, but it just takes practice. The legs look good.
All right.
So with me, everyone, stepping in front. Notice I sink a little, but I'm comfortable in the stance. Step behind, I sink a little more, but I'm still comfortable. So my back is straight, I'm not compensating with my hips. I use this twist to draw the foot and step, back is still straight. Sink as low as you can without compensating with your hips and butt, all right? Step in front, back is relaxed and straight. Step behind, back is relaxed and straight. Use that twist, step back. Good, a couple more. Front, twist behind, follow that twist to step back. Good. In front, step behind, twist, follow that twist to step back. And 4 more. 1. 2. 3. 4. Very nice. Outside crescents. The foot pulls in across. The foot pulls to the outside. Pulling the foot in. Toes are raised. Heels are pressing. Pull out. 1 in, 2 out. Draw in, draw out. A couple more, nice and slow. Good. Good, Joanna. Good, Caro. Very nice, Karen and Chris. Good, Margot and Craig. Excellent, everyone's got this. Remember, as you kick, the back on the kicking leg is pulling down as the foot raises up. So as I kick out, I'm stretching down as the foot's raising, okay? Let's go for 10 of these, and E. R. Sun. S. Wu. Liu. Qi. Ba. Jiu. Last one. Sure. Good. Shaking it out.
Like my dad
One.
is a tooth.
Perfect, my friend.
The last one was like a tooth and then a brush, but made a tooth, like a floss. And this is more like the brush.
Good. Count out 50 at your own pace. Take a fix. Good. Good job. And relax. Okay, quick sip of water. We'll do some work with our palms. I'm done in half an hour. Okay. You can either follow along or you can help mama, all right? Or sit there and chill. Also a fine option. So the palm position for the Bagua palm is this. You can get a good side view. See how all 4 fingers are stretching forward. There's about an equal space, aside from finger breaks, between each finger. The thumb is crooked and stretching forward as well. And there's a little bit of a pond right here at Lao Gong, the acupoint in the palm. And if it were level, I could pour just a little bit of water in there and it would hold. So I don't want too flexed. I definitely don't want any version of dead fingers. And one of the common things we're trying to avoid that's really challenging is a little finger and ring finger finger curl, because this is much easier to hold in some ways than this. And the reason being is the hand extends all the way out. There's an even draw for the forearm, which becomes an even draw for the upper arm into the brachial plexus and back. If the fingers start to curl in, it's a sign there's a tightness in the torso that we're compensating for in the hands. And so you really want to make sure there's that even pull, especially in the early stages of our training, through all those fingertips. Okay? Any questions so far? That's right, Margot. And Margot, from there, take your thumb and crook it in just a little bit like that. So from here, Margot, to there.
That's
Good.
kind of like the correction you made for me on Saturday.
It's one of the easiest ones to miss. You think all the fingers are stretched, and then they're all stretched, but then you get this really awesome catch here where your thumb can break off. And so you want to limit that angle a little bit by drawing it in and creating a bit more stability to that thenar eminence, whereas here, there's no real stability to the meat of the hand. You want to connect into the rest of the palm. Good, good. Perfect.
Can I go with you?
Of course, you're always welcome to join me. So the first palm we're going to play with is holding chi. Holding chi is a pressing position. With both hands in that Bagua palm, there's a draw. In the beginning, we're just going to push down and open. So see how it's not straight down and out, it's arcing to a hold. Good. In this position here, the clavicles are knit, the belly's drawn to the spine. There's a slight bowing in my back. You can see my lats are engaged as the arms come through. As the lats engage, the costal muscles, the belly, and the paraspinals can all follow. Good. Relaxed palm up. Gather. Press like you're pushing yourself out of a swimming pool. And as you press down to mid-belly, the hands open and spread out just a little bit. So again, watch me, I'm here, and see there's that arc forward and out. Starting in fairly close to my chest, expanding as I hit about a xiphoid process level, opening through the xiphoid process, that very little bone in the bottom of your sternum.
I have a question.
Good. Yes, Fritz?
Is it supposed to be slow?
Yeah,
So it's not like,
that's right. Not quite like swimming puppies.
it's more like,
That's right. Good. So we draw down and press. And one of the first things you want to spot check for is to make sure that your hands are equally oriented to your body. So I don't want one shoulder in, one shoulder back. I want both hands equally splayed, pressing forward. Good. Everyone give that a try a couple times. Good, Joanna. Good. Good. And see how my hands are crooked, but they're not twisted to the point of pain. I can see the crease in the top of my wrist, but not so much that there are multiple creases. So it can be present, but you don't want it to be like this. You want enough of a bend that you can push something without locking out your wrist. Good.
I have a question.
Very nice,
Is it
Chris.
supposed to be close to water dog?
Similar.
Similar to water dog?
Yeah. Good. So we're here again. So feet slightly wider than shoulder width apart. As we breathe in, the body raises and relaxes. As we breathe out, we pull ourselves out of that pool, pressing gently into our stance. So see, I sink the hips a little. Pressing forward with the blades of my hands, pressing back with my back, creating that space between the hands and the belly that's filling like an air balloon. And then inhaling as we raise, relaxing. The legs can straighten and relax. As the hands press, I begin that nice slow exhalation that carries down and presses out. And again, I'm using that side view of myself to make sure that I'm not leaning back as I press. I want to make sure that I'm pushing myself into my stance, not off balance forward or back.
Is it stand?
Inhale as we raise. Yes, Fritz?
Stands or stance?
It is. Yeah, it's horse stance. Good memory. Exhaling as we draw down to press. Good. Once more like that so I can watch all of you. Inhaling, lift. Exhaling as you draw down and press. Good. And so from here, what we want to focus on is that feeling in the paraspinals and the lats. And so watching me as I draw to press, as soon as I start arcing down, I'm feeling this movement here in my side body. Okay? So with your hands here, place one hand on your side, feel your lats wing, and feel that engagement as the hands oscillate. Good. And then take that hand away and try to maintain that feeling of engagement of your lats, and if you can, your costals, belly, and back. And now without oscillating, hold that sensation of engagement as you press down. Try to maintain that feeling of your side body, your back, and your front if you can. And try to maintain that feeling all the way into the posture. Good. And then as we inhale, we relax, catch and release, let go of it all, raising back up. And then once again, use that very first part of that drawdown to find that side body oscillating if you need to. Try to hook in as many structures as you can as you draw down. And see how each region that you draw in affects your posture somewhat. The back, once the back's in, then I can create that feeling like I'm teeter-tottering here as opposed to my shoulders. Once I get in my low back, then I can really feel my hips engage and hold my weight. The side body helps me find a nice consistent round through the arms. And the belly makes sure my movement is balanced front to back and I'm no longer at risk of leaning forward or back as I drop down and through. And again. Linking as many structures as you can, carrying that feeling down as you press. Good. Twice more. Go whatever pace feels best for you. Try to find support for your arms all the way in this downward trajectory. Try to find support that isn't just the shoulders. Try to omit the shoulders as much as you can. Good, and again. Good, Joanna. Very nice, Chris. Everyone's doing great. Everyone's doing great with this.
No, actually the opposite. I really like how it's a good exercise for isolating the connection between the shift in weight from the upper body to the lower. The concentration of pulling the ab muscles towards the spine keeps it from going like overreaching. So I really appreciate that.
Cool.
Joey,
Yes.
when you're here, your chest is opening and your back arching, no? Or are you trying to keep it a bit?
There's a little bit of arching here, but when you were right here, there was a little bit of this.
Yeah. Okay.
As opposed to that. And so this is kind of like you're wearing a heavy backpack that's pulling you back. When you get there, it's like the muscles in the front are acting synergistically to draw you evenly into your pelvis. And so you're absolutely right, Margo. It's okay to be a little bit back as you raise up, just given the nature of the movement. But once we're about nose level and below, we want that balance pretty plumb over the hips as we sink.
Okay.
Is that
Yep, that helps.
Cool, cool. No, it's a really common thing in the beginning. The issue is if you get used to this being neutral, it's really hard to get into your quads. If you get used to this being neutral, now the whole body can begin to roll together. And so it's a small change. If you catch it early, it makes a big difference later on. Yeah, good. Any other questions? Then let's work on holding mountain. And we'll combine the two together. And then if we have time, we'll get to embrace the moon. So whereas holding chi is down, holding mountain is up. Let's go to the basic palm position first, and we'll drill it. The hand position is the same for all 8 palms. You get it from one, you get it for all. So we all have a pretty good idea of that now, right? There's that finger stretch, but not locked out. Thumb is crooked, palm for Lao Gong. As we press down, that's parallel with the ground pushing down. As we raise up, the palm is parallel with the ceiling, okay? So in the full hand position, I'm here, but my fingertips aren't in line with my forearms there. The wrists bend just a little, so I can once again hold a little bit of water right there in Lao Gong. If you look at my back, my arms aren't here in line with each other. That concavity in the chest created by that knitting of the clavicles draws the structures in like I'm rounding a great big tree, right? And so there's this constant yuan, this constant kind of arcing circle that rolls through. So in Chinese, circle is yuan. And so this position would be yuan de. So it's a circle-like shape in your body. Good. In this palm, more than the first, it's really easy for the little finger and the ring finger to get compromised. So make sure that there's extra effort placed on maintaining that even reach through each of your digits. Remember, in Chinese medical theory, the channels turn from yin to yang and yang to yin at the fingertips. These are the most turbulent and active points in the body. We want to make sure they're all engaged evenly so that movement through the structures can be even as well. It's kind of our first check-in point. The elbows are reaching as though there's a weight pulling down on the elbow skin.
So Joey, does that mean that circulation problems in the extremities are viewed as a yin-yang balance problem?
Yeah.
That's cool.
And neither of those points are actually really good for things like diabetic neuropathy. I had really good luck clinically with those points back when I was at UCLA. They're fun. And so again, there's a little rope attached to your elbow and a weight pulling down. And so from here, with that round chest, that slightly convex back, concave chest, let the arms oscillate up and down. If you can, you can put one hand to the side so you can feel your lats engage here as well. Once you achieve that body feel, try to remove the hand and maintain that sensation. If you lose it, it's absolutely okay to put the hand back. The most important thing is be aware of how your body is moving. Whatever little cheats you need to get there are entirely encouraged. Good. Notice how of the 3 joints in my upper body, the elbows are the lowest, the hands are the highest, and the shoulders are the middle. You want to maintain that so you can help me to have better feeling connectivity through the chest and back. Good. Everyone hold for a second. Nice training tools, Karen. Good, Caro. Caro's got rocks. Awesome. Oh, sweet sandbags. Perfect. Good.
There are actually iron little pellets in here instead of sand, but yeah, they're working.
I'll take it.
Took them off these little
Yep.
weights.
That's how we do. That's awesome. Good, Craig. On your right hand, Craig, the little finger, the ring finger are curling in. There you go. Good. Very good, everyone. And so as the hands relax down, the body relaxes, the legs straighten. As we gather, there's a lift. And as I lift through here, see how my hips are sinking as my hands are raising? I feel like I'm scooping something heavy, right? If you scoop something heavy, you have to use the paraspinal muscle and the lats. So I want that feeling of a scoop. And then I want to carry that scoop feeling out to my outstretched arms. I'm trying to avoid the feeling of, here I am in my shoulders. I want to use that back and side body, feel that connection, and then carry that same stretching. Usually I'm fishing, I've caught those muscles, and I'm stretching them out to this new position. Good, relaxing as we cycle down, the opposite of last time. Gather, feel that sensation of scooping and lifting. You can do it a couple of times. You can't quite catch the side body on the first go. Once you feel that connection in your back and side, stretch and draw. Good. And hold for a second. Good, Craig, those fingers looking much better. Good, Joanna. The palms looking improved. Excellent, Chris and Margot, and good, Caro and Karen with the holdings. Very nice. And relaxing down. Gather, scoop, lift and draw. And relaxing down. Once more, then we combine this with our first palm. Scoop and draw. Good, now we're going to add in our holding chi palm as the opposite. So as we lift up, see my body raises just a little bit, my hands come up, and as I exhale, sink to press. Body raises, hands come up. As I roll around, exhale, lift to open. Inhale, body raises, hands face the direction I want to go. Exhale, press to splice, that press to open. Inhale, legs raise, arms round. Exhale, scoop to lift. Inhale, exhale, press. Try to carry as many muscle groups with you as you can. Inhale, arms round. Exhale, lift to open. Good. At your own pace, keep playing with this transition. And if you get one where you feel like you've gotten some new muscle online you haven't gotten before, to play with repetition, you can hang out there for a couple of breaths and try to see how long you can hold that connection. You can draw it to some new places, you can get creative with it. And then once you lose it, things get counterproductive, that's a really good time to phase shift. Again, hanging out. I feel my leg in a new way. I'm gonna hang out with my leg for a second so I can connect it to the other leg. I can increase that connection to my pelvis. Then it starts to dissipate, and then I'll carry through to my next. Good, and a couple more at your own pace. Very nice, Kara. As you lift, Kara, remember that fold in that center line. Okay, so I feel that little bit of articulation around the middle vessel. There you go, very nice. Margot, your back is looking much better. The timing with your legs is improving a lot too. Very nice work. Good, Craig, good round, good finger control. Good, Joanna. So as you scoop, Joanna, rolling, the palms come forward. So you're like you're lifting something so heavy that you need your whole body to lift it. There you go. And then carrying that feeling out and beyond. And so there's a belly back feel in the scoop, but that will hit new regions of your back and belly as you splay the arms out if you move slowly enough. So the whole idea is how much of this and this can I draw in with each reach? Okay, there you go, good, take your time, good, find that catch, and then drawing it, there you go, going slow enough that you maintain, good, and make sure those fingertips are reaching out. Very nice. Good, Chris. Very nice study, Karen. You can use those small little movements to try to draw that sensation. It's just very small changes in the region of your body. And they'll gradually expand to create a much bigger picture.
I'm not sure if I'm improving, but definitely getting that scoop for the upward motion is getting out of out to in and into the core muscles out.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And it's that connection that we're after. And that connection, is really, really hard to define. Even if you hold for long durations, it's really easy to muscle with your shoulder. But if you can draw from somewhere else and then settle here, this is the shoulder movement in the same way that is, right? And so you bypass the shoulders in the beginning and then maintain that body feel as you reach out and through. Yeah, exactly, Chris. It's the same movement with our Fali. Yeah, that's where this comes from. And from the context of form, right, we have that coiling round through. There are lots of opportunities there to get stuck in your body. And so kind of finding where it's supposed to come from makes even that movement more connected and interesting. Good. Any questions so far? Should we give the Embrace the Moon palm a try? Let's give it a go. Let's try 3. So same hand positions, right? And the idea here is with the hands fairly close to my shoulders and chest, I sit as I press. And as I press, it's not just forward back, it's forward spread. Good. The hands can be here at head level, they can be here at heart level. Either way is okay. I like to start a little bit higher, especially with you newer students, because this is easier to feel in the side body. Here, it tends to get more muddled in the shoulders. And so for right now, as we draw in, palms towards me, as we breathe out, see how the hands scoop and turn, and then press and splay with the palms at about the same distance as my shoulders. Once again, elbows are trying to be the low joint out of the 3. There's still that weight on the olecranon drawing down. Drawing in, pivoting at the shoulders. See how everything drops out as I pivot, everything rolls to settle, the shoulders drop. And then from here, as I sink into my stance, press to splay. And I'm trying to carry that feeling through my back, opening in the back as the arms follow. Drawing up and in, palms towards my body. As I begin my exhale, the palms pivot. That pivot is used to settle my shoulders, bringing them down and ever so slightly forward, following that concavity in the chest, pressing out to open. In. To out. Notice how the more I press, the more I sit, not the more I lean. And so it's pushing me into my stance. And a couple more. Good, using that roll of the arms. See how the hands are cycling here and rolling? If you want, you get tired, you can try a few of these nice and smooth. Feel the muscles in your front and back. Draw around this motion. See the shoulders are relaxed and up, sinking, and then the back goes back as the hands go forward.
It's like kneading bread on way too high of a counter.
Exactly. It's the exact same feeling as that. Or using very much the wrong height massage table.
Right?
We can change it canonically to young man needs bread.
Be totally good. Now, as I press through, it's hard to see. My belly is engaging. My belly is pulling me into my hips as I press. Belly relaxes as I raise. And here, Margot, is that shoulders back you were describing? And as we roll through, belly engages to the hips as we press, drawing to press. Good. A couple more of those by yourselves. Good, Chris. Feel that space between the hands and the chest fill as I press out. I'm not just pushing forward. I'm not just pushing back. I'm pushing from the center in both directions evenly. Good. Couple more. Good, Karen. And see, Karen, as I roll, see the level change, the height change, like I'm rounding a circle.
Oh, okay.
Slightly up, down to press. There you go. Slightly up, down to press. Good. That way the shoulders can really find their home as they settle and you press through. Very good. Very nice, Kara. Good back alignment, Kara. Relax movement a little bit more. Try to get into a flow and a roll. Good.
Really quick question about stability, because I do feel like when I'm sinking in and like pushing both ways, that
Yeah.
I would be easy to throw.
Right.
Does that come gradually or?
So watch as I press.
Yeah.
Shoulders don't cross the line of my hips. Look what's happening to my hips and my thighs. See, as I push out, I'm sinking. And so
Yeah.
I'm settling in as I press. Hey, Fritz, can I borrow you? Thank you. So, can you push me over? As I push here, I'm back weighted. I can be toppled by a Fritz, right? Fritz again. As I push here, it's a very different sensation as I drop straight down into my legs. If I go back,
Oh,
to the wall,
yeah.
she topples me. Right. And so as I press through, it's not so much a lean, it's a jackknifing at the hips, following that forward back fill.
Oh, is this kind of like I'd seen this video about how they do, I think it's called Iron Head or something, where it's kind of like instead of you having a vector like this, you're like this a bit.
Right.
So you're kind of doing that. You're
Right, when I'm walking with this,
okay.
see how my whole body is holding a spear, right? Not just my arms. Everything is incorporating that spear.
But I can think of my spine as being a bit like that. Like,
Right, slightly forward. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, cool. Thanks.
Of course, yeah, great question. Great question. Any other questions? That's looking pretty good. Let's do any questions on the first three palms? Awesome. So again, as you practice at home, we have holding chi, scooping, holding mountain, scooping, holding moon. Scoop, hold chi, scoop, hold mountain, scoop, hold moon. There's a different body feel for each of them, even though the roll is fairly similar. And so we'll get into draw heaven, poke earth, because the connection for this one, as you can see, is a little bit different than that kind of natural roll we have for the first three. And so the next couple of days, just, a few times a day, play with this, try to identify where the movement starts in your body. When I hold mountains, I'm gathering down here with my side body, my pelvis, lifting that like I'm carrying a wing from my hip to my hands, right? When I hold chi, I'm trying to pull everything down, my chest, my belly, my back, and then open that up so my whole body is sinking and then expanding, like a puddle expanding on the ground. When I do hold moon, I try to feel that backward pressure more than my forward pressure, so that as I move through, everything here is directly supported by everything here, okay? And so you can play these games about where you're drawing from and then where you're pushing to. Make sense? Awesome. Let's do some kicks. Kicking time. Okay, with a foot back, lifting the toes up, pulling from the hip, watching me first. I wipe off the table, my toes on the ground, my heel isn't. Now this is the important part. I go slow, rolling, pulling into my bracing leg. That roll, see how now my other leg is left behind? The function of the roll lifts that leg up as I continue to pivot. I turn, pressing towards all of you, and then pulling from my hip, stepping around and back. Just give that try together nice and slow. Back leg, toe lifts, heel presses, pulling from the hip, step across. Rolling into that base leg. Take your time. Once the other leg is left behind, use the turn to lift it. Continuing that pivot as you turn, turn to press. Pulling from that hip as we come around and back. Good. And again, toe lifts, pulling from the hip, stepping across. Think like a great big step. From that great big step, we turn, drilling that leg into the ground. Back is straight, other leg lifts, pivoting, turning, pressing, and back. With one hand on the wall if you have it, the leg comes back, the leg comes forward, point the toe, down, up, and nice and slow back. Good. Forward, 2, down, up, good Kara, and back. 3, 4, 5. And now from here, 5 little oscillations. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and back, changing legs. And forward, down, up, 1. Forward, up, 2, and 3. 4. 5, and hold. 5 little bounces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and back. Nice job, everyone. Any questions about today's class?